I found this dead laptop on a thrift shop, and I'm too curious if I can still make this laptop working. So I bought it from the shop and bring it home to be repaired. After a series of repairing, the laptop turned alive and as good as new again. But before that, I'll show you how the condition of the laptop before I start dismantling. This is the model of the laptop. The plastic cover is still in good shape, but I found out some screws are missing. One on the screen cover and almost all screws on the bottom cover are missing. I'm guessing that the laptop had been serviced long ago before I bought it from the shop. It happened that the technician never had a chance to repair it, or that the owner refused to replace the parts due to its expensive rather than purchasing a new laptop. I found out also that the memory and the hard disk already been removed. So I installed a new memory and SSD and tried to power on and see if it will open. The power light is on but it goes off a few seconds again. I tried to switch on 3 times but the result is the same. So I decided to dismantle and see what's inside, and also to visualize the cause of failed power on. I doubt that there is a short circuit on the board inside, probably the motherboard or the mainboard. So based on my experience, first I must remove all the screws at the bottom cover before I start removing the top cover, including the keyboard. It's pretty easy to remove the screws, although it's already missing some of. So I open the cover to reveal the memory and the hard disk. So I check if the memory I installed have any damage during the powering on. So it's negative. And start removing all connections that connect to the motherboard. Next, I remove the SSD from the motherboard. So as usual, I check again if there is any damage from the powering on. So nothing, I didn't found any damage. Because during my third attempt of switching on, I smell some burn inside. And then I carefully remove the Wi-Fi adapter from the motherboard. In this case, I continue to remove all the screws remaining at the back cover. Done removing all the screws, but to be sure, need to see anything left before continuing to the next step. All the screws removed. Next, top cover. So now I have to remove the keyboard first. Removing the keyboard is very easy, but be careful not to damage the connector. So the ribbon cable is still in good shape, but we can't tell unless the laptop is powering on. There are still screws here to be removed. So here there are 4 connectors that connect the top cover from the mainboard. I tried to flip the top cover but still have some screws need to remove from the motherboard. It's pretty small so it's hard to see. At this point, I successfully removed the top cover from the unit without any force. It seems have 3 boards here, one for the switch, one for the touchpad, and other for the... I think the other board is for optical drive eject button. In here, we can see if any water damage, but it seems clean and no stain. So I guess it's not the water damage caused the short circuit. Now the top cover is fine, so next is the motherboard. In here we have still 4 connectors, one for the camera, one for the display, one for the extra USB and speaker. In this case, the extra USB port cable has already been disconnected. So I'm pretty sure this is not the cause of this powering of this laptop. At here, there are only one screw to remove the motherboard or separate the motherboard from the unit. So at my case, I forgot to remove the connector, the power connector at the back of this motherboard. So the motherboard looks clean and no damage at all, but we need to see deeper. I notice here that the heatsink is missing. The cooling fan is not stuck up, so it's still fine. In here, the other side have different story. I see some flux residue at this area. And now I suspected that this motherboard has gone many series of repairing. In here, I think the battery or battery slot is missing. Seems like flip up. I think the battery slot here has forcefully removed because some circuitry conductors has been removed here. It is clear that they removed the parts and used it in the other laptop with the same model, since memory and the hard drive also missing. So this motherboard is already busted, unrepairable. So I think this motherboard has been cannibalized or already removed some parts that used to the other laptop, or the motherboard has been removed and replaced to the other laptops with the same model, I guess. But who knows? Even the shop owner didn't know the problem of this laptop. Only the real owner or the maintenance who have been serviced once this laptop. So here I found the display screw that has been put in the wrong place, so I need to put it back. So the cooling fan is still usable, and maybe the CPU is still in good condition. So I need to find a new motherboard, the same model, to replace this busted motherboard. So before dispose this motherboard, I need to remove the component that I need to save, especially the CPU and the cooling fan. And others maybe I will use for the next project or next videos. I think the CPU is still in good condition and the thermal paste is still wet, so I think they already been replaced or serviced once and replaced the old thermal paste with the new paste. So I tried to wipe the old thermal paste so that it's not looks messy on the CPU. I tried the possible cleaning techniques to remove the old thermal paste, and I'm pretty satisfied with the result. I use an alcohol with 70% isopropyl solution as a cleaning agent. A tiny solid capacitor has been dropped off on my table, so I guess this one comes from the motherboard. Next is to remove the CPU from the busted motherboard and carefully pull out from the slot. The CPU pins have no damage, but I can tell if the CPU is still in good condition. This is Broadcom wireless mini PCI Bluetooth. I need to save this also because I don't know if the new motherboard already have this Bluetooth together. So it's done here. I already removed the component that I need to save. So generally this motherboard is already busted and not usable. But before skipping to the next video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my video, and if you have any suggestion or opinion, please comment down below. So this is now the continuation of my video regarding on repairing Acer laptop, the busted motherboard. So I have bought a new motherboard, replacement motherboard from an apps called Taobao. The apps is very popular in China, also in nearby country. I did not manage to find the new replacement motherboard, so I stick on the second hand. So I asked the seller if the motherboard contains the CPU and the cooling pad or any other component together in it, but the seller say it's only motherboard itself. The seller told me that the motherboard is still working, and it promised me that anything problem with the motherboard can be replaced or returned. So here's the packaging of the replacement motherboard. I'm not contented with the packaging because as you can see it's only wrapped with this carton box and some bubble pack inside, and you can see the edges was deformed. So I'm thinking maybe the motherboard inside is damaged during the delivery. The package arrived within 3 days. So when I opened the package, I was shocked because the motherboard only placed on this plastic with the paper inside shape heart paper. So I don't know what it's mean. I cannot read Chinese. So at least the motherboard is clean, no anything. I'm happy with it, but I don't know if the motherboard is good or bad. Here what's the heart shape paper say. Anyone can read it? Please comment down below. So of course, before the installation of this replacement motherboard, I need to examine first. So the battery is here, the heatsink is here, so it's not missing. I didn't see any flux residue in this motherboard, so it means it is removed from same model. The seller stick a warranty sticker here at the motherboard. The sealer includes the mini PCI Bluetooth together with the motherboard. I also check the right and the left click buttons here. I'm pretty amazed with the seller because the motherboard is very clean. So before installing, I want to check the battery if it has a voltage. Anyway, the CMOS battery, this one is a chargeable battery. Because some cases, if the battery have no voltage, there's no video output. So I'm using my analog multimeter. Well, the battery is very stubborn to come out. So I think it's good to go. So first I want to install the CPU, followed by the cooling fan. So here is my thermal paste that I'm using. I already using this kind of thermal paste. By the way, I have already serviced lots of computer here, and every time I need to replace thermal paste, I use this. When applying the thermal paste, be careful not too much or less. So while attempting to put the cooling fan, I noticed a difference with the other motherboard. So I think the GPU memory is the difference. Now the motherboard is complete and it's ready now to put back on the laptop. So this is now the final check before installing on the laptop. So I'll already check and I think this one will fit perfectly on the laptop. So it fit. Next is to check the cables, the connector. Now I'm connecting the display cable, so it's perfectly fit. Next is the right speaker. Next, the extra USB port. So here I noticed that the end of this cable, the contacts are misaligned. What I did on this flat cable, I cut small pieces at the end of this flat cable, just only to remove the misaligned contacts. Since the cable become a little bit shorter, so I need to refold it. Connecting the two ends of this flat cable is now fine. So 4 connectors are already been connected, so next is the top cover. Here, I noticed that the top cover is not fit perfectly. So I need to check if the motherboard here is not much or something is blocking on the top cover. So I found already what is the problem. So the camera cable just came out. That's why the top cover didn't fit perfectly. So now the top cover is perfectly fit. So here I need to remove again the top cover because I remember have some missing nuts attached to the cover. So this side at the right side of this. So I decided to fix later again. So I need to check the motherboard first. So why guys I need to screw back before testing the motherboard? Because on some other reason, the metal case here that attached to the motherboard serve as a ground to the motherboard. Sometimes if loose connection or not connected the ground, the motherboard will not operate. So I need to screw all the screws here, then we'll check. By the way, I have managed to replace the missing screws. Now it's time to connect the 4 connectors here. So I'm done here. So next is the back cover or the bottom cover. Here I need to install the Wi-Fi adapter, the memory, the hard drive, and connect the cables, the power cable and the Wi-Fi antenna. So that's the last connector. So I'm done here. Next is to connect the keyboard. Now that the keyboard is already connected, so I need to plug the AC power. So at this moment, I'm already excited if the laptop is working or not. So when I power it on, the LED light never switch off, and then boom, an Acer logo appear. Then I press the F2 to enter the BIOS mode. But in this case, with too much excitement, instead of pressing F2, I'm pressing escape. Let's say a little confused with too much excitement. Sometimes it happens when I'm too excited, I forgot something. So I'm happy with this result.
Sound production.
And then first I set the clock and the date in the BIOS mode.
Sound production.
So here again with too much excitement again. So I tried to install the Windows 10 OS and then there's something happen. At first, seems everything has into plan. So I wait until the installation process is finished. But when it comes to 66%, boom, there. So the laptop automatically switch off. I am confusing again what happened with this laptop. But anyway, I try it again. So there's something in my mind that I am thinking maybe it is a overheating situation on the laptop. Boom, it switched off again. So I review the video again. So it's clear that I forgot to reconnect the cooling fan cable. After I connected the cooling fan cable and make sure all cables are connected properly, I power the laptop again and start installing the OS. So the only issue that caused the laptop powering off when installing was the unconnected cooling cables. Now the installation runs smoothly. The installation takes only 10 minutes after starting again.
Hi there, I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help. A little sign in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there, and we'll have your PC ready for all you plan to do. Use your voice or the keyboard along the way, and if you'd like me to stay quiet, just select the little microphone icon towards the bottom of your screen. If you need an assistive screen reader, press the Windows, Control, and Enter keys at the same time to turn on narrator. Okay, enough intro. Let's dig in.
And from here, it takes about 25 minutes. So total is 25 minutes from installation of new OS until it properly boot. So this is the end of our video on repairing a PC laptop. I did motherboard and replacing with a new motherboard. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoy my videos, and if you have any comments or suggestion, please leave your comment below. Thanks for watching.